Hey guys, welcome back. Before we get started, I thought I would just do a quick gear recap because I bought some things just so that we're all on the same page. Essentially, the only reason there's strength in the helmet was to wear the chest piece this level. Besides that, there's not too many huge changes here. Just in general, we geared up. Mercenary is the same as before. And here are the stats and skills. Okay, so we are on to Sisters to the Slaughter, which we just left off in the jail. So it's going to be a bit of traveling. We got to get to the inner cloister and then go down through the catacombs. So I'm not sure if I'll do it all in one video. We'll have to see how it goes. I am using Blessed Aim offensively, and I have Cleansing as my alternate defensive tool. Just essentially replacing Prayer. And also the reduction in poison might prove useful by the time we get to Andariel, so we shall see. Took a firebolt there to the back. Now, the climb down usually isn't too bad. It can take a bit, but that's about all there is to it. There's not a huge amount to worry about unless we run into more problematic boss mobs and all that. Andariel herself is always kind of a mixed bag as to how difficult she comes off as. Sometimes you'll be praying that you had more antidote potions and all that, or other times you just kind of walk in and take her out. It really depends. I'm feeling alright about it so far. We're at a decent level. Usually you want to be anywhere from like 12 to 15, generally speaking. Of course, you can do it way earlier if you had gear waiting and whatnot. Oh, there's the downside of loading a new game. Just walked to the entrance. Let's go get these Power Ranger Bone Mages. There we go. I guess we'll pick up this. Be efficient with our potions. So in the last video we did pick up Zeal, which we've been using. Right now it's only at 2 hits, but as we continue to level it up in these next few levels, it'll get better for us. Because it'll be longer chains, and therefore not only more mana efficient, but we'll be doing generally more damage. Seems our mercenary has stuck to a wall somewhere. These mazes are usually a good sign. Yeah, that there's the lower level. So we have to keep going down until eventually the jail makes way to the inner cloister, which then there's a small connecting zone there. You go into the cathedral, and then you go down to catacombs. The next super unique we'll run into is Bone Ash, I believe his name is. Cold Enchanted Bone Mage. Uh-oh. Probably want to take these on one at a time. There goes our merc. One of you will just step through the doorway, please. Come on. No, you want to. Oh. This is an unfortunate combination here. curse and cold enchanted. I'm thinking it is time to retreat for a bit. Ooh. Okay.
Good day.
Again, just being very careful because we're against, or we're in hardcore. If it weren't, I would probably be more headstrong and just running into these guys, but I don't want to make any stupid mistakes here, so. Get all this. Wow, a lot of stuff versus undead. Now, generally speaking, you do want to get faster attack speed weapons. The problem is this is pretty low because it looks like it's close, but the poison damage kind of falsely increases the values because it takes the entire poison damage, even though it's over a duration, and applies it. So probably not a good choice replacement, but we'll see. Okay, let's get back to this. Okay, that was mostly painless. Merc did make it through. There's probably a few more of his ads here. Yeah. There we go. Closing doors on myself. Good job. Okay, we just leveled up. I guess we will put points into strength so that our helmet isn't necessary in the future. And it's time to start leveling up Zeal to get the extra swings. Now we do need to be careful because the way Zeal works, it kind of makes you dedicate to your swings. So we could be stuck for a bit, but that's usually why attack speed is so important, so that individual clicks mean you're standing still for shorter periods of time. One thing I did forget to do there is I could have turned on cleansing when I was getting cursed. That could have turned off the amplify damage, which was the curse that the boss mob there was giving. Luckily we do have a bit of mana recovery on our equipment now. I think it's the ring that's giving it. Mana after each kill, yeah. So that's nice. If we are efficient with our swings, we'll get a bit of mana back. Alright. Moving along here. Like I said, not sure if I'm going to go all the way to Andariel in this video or if I'm going to cut it up into pieces. Either stop at the cloister or stop at maybe the waypoint for catacombs. Not sure. We'll see on the timing. Sounds like our merc just leveled up. No. Quite the large jail area for normal, but oh well, getting some amount of XP, not a huge amount anymore though. I think we're over leveling the zone. Which is always an issue. I would be curious to hear about your guys' experiences as far as what level you usually tend to be when you're not doing rushing characters or doing your tryst runs and tomb runs. What levels you usually like to be when you're at certain milestones, killing Andariel, going after Duriel, that sort of thing. I rarely ever have hard and fast rules about it, but I imagine for the particularly stubborn, you could get used to leveling yourself up to a certain point. Sometimes it's important based off your class or your build to be at certain levels here, like maybe you get an important move at level 18 or whatnot. This looks like it's going to be annoying. Extra strong. I assume extra strong does work on non-physical attacks, but maybe I'm incorrect there. It would make sense. I assume it's essentially just like a flat damage increase. It's not actually extra strong physically necessarily. Usually don't have too many issues in Act 1 on hardcore. Usually if I'm losing characters, it's in like, I think Act 2 is when most people can start dying if they're being sloppy, just because of, say, the scarabs, or the beetles, or whatever they're called. Just essentially lightning enchanted on all mobs. That can be scary. Getting stuck in like the maggot layer, getting charged too much by the claw vipers, I know could kill particularly squishy characters out of nowhere. Trying to think. Maybe, well, Duriel himself is pretty much a good gear check because he can be pretty scary when you're trapped in a small room with him. From there, trying to think places people would die. The council, I guess, could be difficult. There's a lot of Brem Sparkfist again, lightning enchanted. Other ones can, it's just essentially a pack of bosses altogether. Obviously Mephisto. The flamethrower venom lords in Act 4, that could be tricky, or getting like mana screwed by the ghosts. Pretty much anyone in the Chaos Sanctuary getting dropped on by the spawning mobs. Diablo himself. Ancients in Act 5. Obviously Baal. I think there's plenty of spots. I'd be curious to see though if there's like some sort of statistic or poll. Where did you die? Like obviously a lot of people just die, you know, when they're doing magic finding runs or like accidentally lagging out on Baal runs or stuff like that. So like obviously it would be skewed in those directions, but I'd be curious either way to see like just the general stats of how people are dying. I'm sure plenty of people die to BM PvPers as well, which is always a shame when someone just drops into your game. Anyways, we got to the inner cloister. I think I'll call this video here. and we'll just split it up and go down into the catacombs in the next one. So I'll see you guys then.